Hi there, friends. I'm Vasco. I'm part of the team behind the first global Scrum Master Summit. If you're a Scrum Master, the Scrum Master Summit is a place to learn, to share, and to meet new friends. We will have lots of live sessions where you can meet and network with other Scrum Masters from all over the globe. So make sure you check it at bit.ly/SM Summit and the numeral 21. That's bit.ly/SMSUMMIT21. We have 7 amazing keynotes or more, as we are still organizing the conference as I record this, and 8 tracks that feature people like you and thought leaders sharing their insights and knowledge to help you become an awesome Scrum Master. So once again, check it out at bit.ly/SM Summit 21. That's all lowercase, all one word, SM Summit and the numeral 21. I'll see you on the virtual conference floor. All right, now on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Success Thursday this week with Serge Huybrechts. Hi, Serge. Welcome back.
Hey, Vasco. Really great to be here again.
So, Serge, on Thursdays, we talk about success because, of course, that's what we aim for as Scrum Masters. And one of the tools we use to get there is the retrospective. So share with us, what's your favorite retrospective format and why?
Yeah, I'm again really happy because the sprint retrospective is actually my favorite Scrum event. Maybe it's because I come from this continual improvement background in the last 15 years, but it's actually the first framework that so deliberately creates an event around it. So I think it's really great. So my favorite format is one I came across last September. I followed a webinar and I forgot who it was because otherwise I would give the guy credit, but it was called the OSKAR method, and OSKAR stands for Outcome, Scale, Know-how, Affirmation, and Review. So what it actually does is it's based on solution building as opposed to problem solving. So it prefers not to look at the problem, but to look at the solution, which I think is, again, creates a positive dynamic around things. So what you basically do is you take a situation, let's call it releasing every sprint. That's the situation you want to look at, and then as a team you set the perfect condition, your goal to achieve, and you're invited to dream big about it. And then if you get that perfect condition, you consider that as your 10 out of 10 points. And the next step is that with the team, you then look at where are we today. So let's say that the team gives itself a score of 6 out of 10, as opposed to the 10 out of 10. And then you ask the team, okay, what would 7 look like? And what do we need to do to get there? And that's like I said, that's the solution-based thinking. And with that, you define your improvement actions, your small steps you take to get to 7. And you actually measure that actively with your team. And I really love this because the focus is there on the positive perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that at least my own experience, is that when we have a conversation about solutions, there's this positive energy that emerges. You've referred to that. But I also see the risk of people not really understanding what is the problem that they are trying to solve, and then getting stuck into this, what I call solution fetish. Like they come up with a solution and then the solution becomes the goal itself. How do you handle that in that OSKAR method? How do you bring it back to an achievement, something that is an outcome, rather than, for example, the solution is, let's use this specific tool. So now everything is around, are we using the tool? When in fact, it's not the goal to use a tool. The goal is to reach something.
I think that's a really, really good point, Vasco. Maybe to start with, if you have this conversation, you start with an issue that we have. Like I said, maybe we cannot release every sprint yet, or there's a lot of bugs still in the increment by the end of the sprint. So there is actually a problem that we acknowledge as a team. So I think that's really important to have that, or to kind of look at the root cause a little bit. And then to the other part of the equation is that not to have the solution as a goal, but to have the outcome as a goal. So to come back to the example I just used, Our goal is not to have the solution in place, but our goal would be to release more often, to in the end release every sprint. That's what I would look at. Are we able to, maybe in the beginning we release every quarter, to go to a monthly release and then to a 2-week sprint release? That's what I would try to achieve, basically. That's how I see it. Does this answer your question a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that conversation is also very important. I've been a developer, I've been a project manager, so I've done this mistake myself, whereby we discuss something and then we define that the solution is to install, let's say, a new static code review tool. And then the static code review tool gets installed. It might even get run, but nobody's looking at the results. So the problem is still there, which is the lack of quality in the code. And for me, that's the thing that matters, that when we do this, when we are solution focused, and I think that's great, that's an energy producing approach in a team, that we don't forget that what we are actually trying to reach is what you, Serge, very well called an outcome, not a technical or tool solution. Let me give another example. Sometimes the solution is, let's adopt Agile. Well, actually, adopting Agile is not the solution. It's a tool we get to get somewhere, right? And the somewhere might be to release more often, to have higher quality, to have less churn in the employee, because, in the employees, because people are leaving and quitting because they're tired of waterfall, like whatever that might be, right? So I think that example you gave, like bring it back to outcomes, I think is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's and exactly what you say, because while you were talking, I was thinking exactly the same thing. Scrum on its own is not a goal. It's about frequently delivering value to our customers or our stakeholders. That's our goal. And if that works with Scrum or with Kanban or whatever we use, that's fine. But we have to keep the outcome in our minds, and it's really important to keep repeating that.
Absolutely. All right. Now we turn our attention to why we do all of these things, which is, of course, to have a successful outcome for our own work as Scrum Masters. So, Serge, share with us, what's your definition of success for you, yourself, as a Scrum Master?
Yes. The most important thing, one of the most important things I learned as a Scrum Master, and I think that comes also back from the continual improvement journey that I went through, is that it's never about you. The success, and you mentioned this earlier this week as well, Vasco. It's never about you as a Scrum Master. You are successful as a Scrum Master when the team becomes better, when the organization collaborates better. So again, the outcome thing that we mentioned in the retrospective, keeping an eye on what you want to achieve is very important. So I think the ultimate success achievement would be to have a team that's engaged, that is learning, and that delivers a valuable product to their customers very regularly. But I think overall, what we often forget in organizations, and I think also for myself as a Scrum Master, is that to reach that ultimate achievement of success, we make small steps and we make small success steps. And I would want to focus more, and that's a day-to-day learning for me, is to acknowledge the small successes and celebrate those with the team. And they can be anything. So like simple things like everybody is on time for the daily scrum for a whole week. We have an absent product owner that suddenly turns up to have a beer with the team, and then seeing the relationship improve. Like you start out with a siloed team, and then over time you see them collaborating and having really good conversations with each other and calling that out and saying, well done, guys. So for me, like seeing the growth of the team and also the organization, that's the ultimate success for me as a Scrum Master.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of gets back to this idea that we were just discussing. I think yesterday it was that we succeed through others, right? Like others need to succeed for us to be successful. And the way I read your answer is that those are all signs that others are succeeding.
Absolutely. Your success as a Scrum Master is to see others succeeding. That's a really nice one. That's a t-shirt, right?
Yes, more than a sticker. This might be a t-shirt, indeed.
Yeah.
I see successful people.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
All right, let me write that down so I don't forget. I see successful people. That's great. I think we might be starting a merch line here.
Let's do that. Great. Yeah.
All right, Serge, thank you very much for sharing this with us.
You're welcome, Pascal.
Part of a successful Scrum Master job is to help the product owner. Tomorrow we explore that critical role in Scrum, the product owner role. Tune in to learn about product owner anti-patterns, what you can do to help the product owner, and a real-life example of what a great product owner is and what made it so. Tomorrow on our Friday Product Owner episode. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.